Hello everybody and welcome into another update with Chief Executive Phil Holden, and today there's only one issue and it's about funding. The HRNZ has got a new funding model which Phil will talk about soon, but first of all, can we talk about this proposal by the TAB for industry participants to be paid in arrears?
Yeah, so one of the things that's come through as we've worked through the new funding model is that the TAB are going to fund all the codes a month in arrears. Now, as we've worked through our numbers, in particular from a harness perspective, it's very clear that that is going to be incredibly challenging, not only for us, but equally for our clubs and our participants. And I'm acutely conscious of the impact that proposal will have on people like our trainers and drivers in particular.
So you're fighting that all the time, are you?
We are. So we've had a couple of meetings with the TAB. We've made our position really clear and quite strongly clear in terms of, hey, this is a major problem, that you are transitioning the industry from being paid from the day after, virtually, of executing a race or an event to a month in arrears. Now, the reason that it's a major implication for us is simply around managing our cash flow and being able to meet those obligations. So I think that the TAB haven't actually considered that in the detail that they need to, or understood the implications of that for the codes. So I think it's fair to say that Harness is leading the charge in this discussion, and we are not going to roll over on this easily. We have asked them to look at, could they do it fortnightly? What are the other options that they could explore other than a month in arrears? So we're still in that dialogue, but we're acutely conscious of the impact it could have on the sector, on our people in particular. And I just want to reassure everybody that we're fighting the good fight. And when we know more, we'll be able to tell you more.
Does it mean, though, Phil, that drivers and owners and trainers are going to get paid monthly as opposed to weekly or whatever their format is at the moment? Is it as serious as that?
It is exactly it, right? So, so as a result of us getting the funding in a month in arrears, then that means there's clearly going to be an implication for everybody else down the funding cycle. So we know that that's not a good look. We know that that's not what we want, so I just want to, as I said before, we're definitely fighting this on behalf of the industry. We know that this is a real problem. If we can have the support of our participants, that would be excellent in terms of helping us with the comms around that, so that we can hopefully begin to get the TAB to make the change that they need to.
Has this been signalled before, or do you think participants out there are going to be in shock at the thought of it?
Look, I think it was there, but I don't think anyone really understood the implication of that until such a time as we started looking at the funding model and how it was all going to work, and then that little line of being paid a month in arrears appears, and it was like, on the surface, it's a relatively easy thing to say, but when you study the implications of that, then it becomes something else. So as soon as that was obvious to us, the implication that was going to have for our people and our code, we've been leading the charge in terms of the conversation with the TAB around that.
Just talking about that funding, I mean, funding for racing is the same at 139.6 million. My understanding is that the allocation to harness racing is down around 7%. Is that true? And if so, what impact will that have?
Yep, so both of those comments are true. So overall funding is distribution is 139.6, but our share of that is down 7% because we had to accommodate the growth in share and performance of greyhounds. So ourselves and NZTR came to an arrangement with greyhounds, and the implication of that is for us is a 7% decrease in our overall funding. So we're having to make that work for us within our funding and our approach.
There's also been a lot of chat around the funding to stakes ratio, and what's the target there, and has it changed from previous seasons?
Well, to target, and the communication we've been having with everybody is that our desire is that it's at an average of 85%. Now, a lot of our clubs are doing in excess of that, and some of them are paying all of their funding out in terms of stakes. But it's, we recognise that not everyone is at that level, so we've set a KPI of 85%, and it's as simple as that.
All right, Phil. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of water to go under the bridge on this funding issue, and we'll keep in touch in the following weeks and months. So thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to updates as they become available.
Yep, absolutely, Dave, and it could be daily. So, I just want to reiterate that it is a period of change. We know that this is uncomfortable. We know that it's not desirable in terms of, the way it's panning out from being potentially a month in arrears, and we're fighting really hard and working really hard to get that changed.